At the end of the show, you gotta stick around for a picture too.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that your phone?
Yeah, I didn't turn it off. Sorry.
Songs in the key of funny, mixing music and comedy. It's like everything you could wish for. It's like an opera singer covered in bees. It's like hearing your favorite song while you eat your favorite cheese. It's funny songs and funny stories. It's songs in the key of funny. Funny songs and the stories behind them.
It is Welcome Back to Songs in the Key of Funny. I'm your host, Kristen Key, and with me this week, our guest, Julie Brown is here. We're so excited to have Julie Brown.
I'm so excited to be here.
Really good episode. Before we get started, I have to say thank you to Flappers Comedy Club for letting us have this podcast right here at Flappers Comedy Club. They've got comedy 29 hours a day, 13 days a week. They've got comedy happening so often that you'll be saying, what? This stage has had the likes of Jerry Seinfeld, Craig Robinson, and that guy that cooks the pizza. All those people have shared this Flappers stage. So come here and check out a show at Flappers Comedy Club. And make sure and follow us, Songs in the Key of Funny, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We have a website at Songs in the Key of Funny. And please, please, please subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Now, every week, hello, Julie.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm so excited to have you on the show. Usually, because we like to honor working musical comedians of today, and we feel like the best way to do that too is to tip our hats to musical comedians of the past. And today, you encapsulate all those things, so you are our classic song of the week.
I love that.
I know, and so I'm so excited to introduce this week's classic song of the week is by Julie Brown, and this week's classic song of the week is Queen of the Ice. Roxy the Fox, can you play a little bit of Julie Brown's song?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Olympic Federation of Figure Skaters proudly presents the cutest, sexiest, bestest skater in the history of the universe, Miss Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding.
Yeah, I like you call her Tanya Harding.
Yeah, I had to do that. In the
I love it. That's this week's classic song of the week. 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 So talk to me, Julie, about that song in particular, written, I'm assuming, early 92-ish?
Yeah, exactly. 93.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I had a deal with Showtime. They had done the satire that I did of Madonna called Medusa Dare to Be Truthful. And they said, well, do something else. So
Just
do
do
something
it. Do
else.
it, Julie.
Because it did really well. I was really proud of it. And it got nominated for some awards and won some. But then, so right at that moment, Tanya Harding was in the news, right?
Yeah.
And Lorena Bobbitt. And so I wrote with Charlie Coffey this movie called Attack of the 5'2" Women.
It's a fantastic movie. It's a parody on the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it's divided in half. And I directed the Tanya Harding one. And it was so hard, but so much fun. It was so hard because I had just had a baby. Hello, and that's not. I don't recommend directing a movie after you just had a baby. And I had to ice skate.
Oh, I was going to ask that. Did you do your own skating?
Yes, I did. I mean,
There was some incredible skating.
No, well, there's a couple shots where it's a stunt skater, of course.
I'm just going to pretend all of it was you. That was all
okay,
you.
too. But Margot Robbie had stunt skater too on I
No.
She did.
I think some CGIing as well.
Do you know how cold it is in an ice skating rink?
I haven't been since I was 10.
Yeah, I had forgotten until I was there, and I'm like, this is like shooting in the snow all day, and you're in one of those little cheese ball costumes. So it was really fun.
Now wait, where did you learn how to ice skate? You were born in
Here.
Van Nuys, is that right?
Van Nuys, yeah. Well, there's ice skating rinks around here.
Okay.
There's actually
I
one
never
in
thought about
Burbank.
that. I didn't grow up out
I'm
here.
not a good ice skater. I was good enough to.
Can you skate backwards?
A little bit.
That's a good ice skater
It's
to
a
me.
little bit.
Okay.
It's not like the stunt skater was, but
What could she do? Could she really skate backwards?
She could really skate and jump and stuff. But it was fun. it gave me a lot of insight into Tanya too. And I mean, I did make fun of her in this, but I also did have a certain amount of compassion for her.
It's hard not to do both of those things. I think we
Isn't
were
it?
talking right before the show. It's like, because you watched I, Tanya,
yeah,
right?
I did, yeah.
and I watched the same thing, and there were parts of it where like, wow, I really felt for her, but I also remember making fun of her. And you go, I wrote a whole movie.
I know, I read the whole movie where I made fun of her. And the thing is, you do feel bad for her because the more you learn about her life, her mother was truly a psycho.
She was a monster.
Psycho who'd wear that coat with a bird on her
Oh.
shoulder and scream at her. I
Hit
mean,
her with a hairbrush.
yeah, she's like a nightmare. And Jeff Gillooly, well, the thing is, in the movie, they played him like he was violent.
Yeah.
But they played him like he was a little bit smart, whereas I thought he was an idiot.
Yeah.
And in my movie, we played him and Sean, the chunky bodyguard,
Yeah.
as complete morons. Because, well, Sean is an idiot.
Complete idiot.
But a really funny idiot, because he acts like he knows what's going on.
He was a counter-terrorist specialist.
Trivia tidbit.
I know.
What is
guy-
that, Roxy the Foe? What's
The
what?
guy who played Sean in I, Tanya used to work in our ticket booth here. The amazing Paul Walter Hauser.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the guy who played him. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
fantastic. I thought you meant the real Sean. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you'll hire anybody.
No, it's just a fun little fact.
Oh, that's great. He was wonderful.
Well, he did a
I
really
thought
good
he was
job.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, I hated him in that movie. I mean, I loved his performance, but yeah. Oh, wait a go. What's his name again? Barbara?
Paul Walter Hauser.
Paul
Amazing.
Walter Hauser. Really
Be
good
on the
job.
lookout for
Way to
him.
go.
Great.
I hope
Yeah.
you're listening, Paul. We love you and miss you.
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
I don't even know you, and I love you.
Probably better in that role than taking tickets here.
Yeah.
Just probably.
And Margot Robbie was really great.
Oh, she was fantastic.
And
Yeah.
she did learn all those skating things. I mean, she had doubles too, but I went to the DGA screening of it with the director, who's a little bit full of himself, but it's not a surprise. And he was talking about it, and she worked so hard. So, I mean, good for her, right? 'Cause that's,
Yeah.
I mean, I did it, and I didn't train for months and months, and I knew how hard it
How
was.
long did you train for
A couple
Attack of the
weeks.
5'2" women?
Couple weeks. It was hard.
But you had to
enough.
sing and ice
I
skate
had
at
to
the same
sing
time.
And ice skate. It was a nightmare. And direct and act. It was. It
I
was,
didn't know you directed that part. You directed?
Yeah.
Good God. Okay, I got so many questions for you,
Okay.
but I feel like we have to
Fire
go
away.
way back to the beginning. So let's play. This is a new segment on the show. It's called Way Back, Way Back, Way Back, Way Back, Way Back Box. We're gonna have the kinks on the bumper. Thank you. So open up the lid to that box and pull out whatever instrument you feel comfortable playing. That's a great one. That's a great one. Because you're gonna play it while you answer my
okay.
childish questions.
Okay.
We're gonna pretend like we're in little kid music school. Yeah, something like that.
Right?
Yeah. So these are questions from way back.
Okay.
Let's see. Were you always
This looks
funny?
like a giant penis, by the way.
It does.
Okay.
The thing she's holding, by the way, if you're just
It's
listening,
just
it's cylindrical.
dildo-ish.
Alex.
I like dildo-ish. So
From the island of
Hashtag
From
me
the-
too.
you can't me too dildo-ish. Just did. So were you always a funny kid?
Yeah. I think I was, and I don't even feel bad saying that. I don't think it's bragging. I think it was a survival technique to get through
Ooh.
Catholic school and my family. I think I had to make things more lighthearted and not so boring and horrible. You know?
Yeah.
I got in trouble all the time for being funny in school. And then I thought about what was that impulse? It was that life was just so oppressive and ordinary, and I couldn't stand it.
What made your life so ordinary?
Well, Catholic school, there's no. Did you go to Catholic school? Oh, no.
No, my dad's a Church of Christ minister, so
okay.
you know, but potato patata.
Yeah, exactly. You had your own oppression.
Yep.
But it was just like they didn't want you to do anything really particularly creative or interesting or outside of the box, and I think I just was that person.
Yeah.
So it was awful.
Okay.
You know, and they hit you. They beat the crap out of you. I know that's a.
Tell me more about the hitting.
The nuns were in my elementary school at that point. They were violent.
What would they hit you
Stick?
with?
They hit you
Oh, yeah,
with.
yeah,
a
mimic it with that dildo-ish thing.
They hit you with a ruler. They'd shake shake you, like so your head's flopping around like what they tell you not to do to a baby.
Oh,
They
awful.
would slap you. Oh, the final thing was in 7th grade, this nun, I made a joke, and she slapped me across the face as hard as she could. And I was like, what? And she sent me to the principal, and it was like I woke up, and I went home, I told my mom, I go, I have to leave this place. This is a bunch of crazy people. And my parents kind of respected that. And then it turned out the next year the nun went to an insane asylum.
You crazy! You got hit
know.
by a crazy
By
nun.
a crazy nun.
Do you remember what the joke was?
No.
Oh. Do you remember thinking it was funny?
Yes.
Okay.
I do remember going, like that moment of, ha ha ha, slap.
That's funny.
It
Do you
was
remember? Okay, let's go back from the way backs.
Can I play another instrument?
Yeah, pick a new one. Pick a new one.
Interrupt.
Trade it in.
Okay.
I'll even change keys for you.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Let's see. Do you remember the first joke you ever told?
No, I don't. Because I don't really remember jokes.
Okay.
I don't remember them. I remember stories and characters. And I always approached all of it through a character.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to remember jokes all by themselves.
Okay.
Right? Which is stupid because that's what I do. But it's
You're a character. That makes the most sense. Yeah. What? Let's see. What was when you were a kid, way back when? What made you laugh back then?
Oh, I loved Lily Tomlin. I loved Jonathan Winters. Lots of cartoons were weird. I was very entertained by always been entertained by female performers that were taking themselves really seriously. That is so interesting to me because I don't know why it's interesting, but it's the drama of getting up and performing and being serious about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I do end up making fun of that a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if someone's it's hard to make some fun of somebody who's actually funny,
Right.
right? It's the people that take themselves
They
really
can't be
seriously.
parodied, but
It's
yeah.
hard to be, yeah. So
That's why there's no movies about Ellen.
yes, there's no movies or songs about Ellen.
Right.
I
She's
mean,
already.
we could probably write one, but it wouldn't. It's not like that easy.
No, it'd be more of a song about how I'm uncomfortable looking like Ellen, which again goes back to a serious person instead of the funny person.
Exactly, right? Whereas, I did, when I was on the edge, I did Carney Wilson. And
I remember this.
do you remember
yeah.
that? We did that song, Lucky Day. And I felt really guilty putting a fat suit on. But at the same time,
I forgot that was you.
I wanted to play China
I
Phillips.
forget that you're you because I'm like, oh, when I was researching you, I noticed that I'm like, oh, I loved her in that. And I'm like, that was her too? And they're like, oh my God, I loved her in that. But I thought you were several different people.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that. No, when we were doing On the Edge, we wrote the song, and I wrote it with Charlie Coffey, and the producer wanted me to play, I wanted to play China,
Yeah.
right? Because I thought China was pretentious, I thought that would be fun. And then he goes, no, you got to play Carney. So I'm like, oh man, I feel guilty, putting on the fat
Wasn't
suit.
Jennifer Aniston in that?
Yes, she played China.
Yes.
Yes,
Isn't
Jennifer
there a
Aniston.
scene where you're just laying on a bed rolling around in candy wrappers?
Yes, exactly.
Thought so, yeah.
Yes.
Boy, that was
and
good.
I threw myself on the top of a limousine, which is actually not that hard if you're wearing a fat suit because you're kind of padded. So I felt bad about that, but they were right for parody because they are kind of funny, right?
Yeah. Well,
You
the
know.
way you did it, especially, boy, I wonder if that video's online somewhere. If it is,
Oh, it is.
Google
It's called
yeah.
Lucky Day, Wilson Phillips, Julie Brown.
Oh, it's
You can find it
wonderful.
on YouTube, yeah.
I just remember the first time I saw that, the other two girls were walking through the columns,
Yes,
and you get
yes.
stuck in the column.
Right, yes.
So I
It's
think
so-
you embraced that character
I
perfectly.
did. I'm like, okay, I'm in this fat suit. I got to do it. Like, what are you going to do? And I also once played Delta Burke, destroying a city.
How many times have you worn a fat suit?
That was the other time I wore a fat suit. And it's funny because it's something I feel guilty about when I'm doing. I don't feel that guilty about other things.
Huh.
But you're like, I don't like making fun of people for fatness, but once they make you put on the fat suit, you kind of got to go for it.
You gotta commit 100%.
Exactly. And I've met China and Delta
Burke.
Burke since, and they were dolls. They were
Oh.
super sweet. And yeah, no, I said China, Carney.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met China too. They're all really, really
They
nice.
seem like nice people.
They were.
Seem like
so
they'd be
you
fun
know,
to sing with. It's always like a daydream of mine to sing harmony with them, you know,
Oh,
or like
yeah.
every little
Well,
girls.
They're
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in Bridesmaids.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I think we all
great, I
wanted to
know.
do that.
Yeah.
So you ended up on stage at what age?
Well, in high school, you know, I started doing music. I started writing music and doing it in high school. And then when I really did it was when I was in San Francisco going to acting school, ACT. Me and my writing partner, Charlie Coffey, started writing music and sketches. And we went on clubs. We went in clubs then, so I was like 20.
Okay.
Yeah, and we did original songs and all kinds of things, you know, just everything inspired by, I guess, Monty Python and Saturday Night Live. And we got a following, and then we finally came down here, then we ended up, you know, just being writing partners because he didn't want to perform anymore. So I was about 20, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you just got the bug?
and I loved it because San Francisco is the greatest place to perform. I mean, I had gay fans before, and I didn't even know why. You know, it just happened right away, and I've always been really happy about that because it's always happened,
Yeah.
right? But in the beginning, I'm like, why do they like me? I don't know why they like me, but they're.
I think it was
so-
your fashion, right?
It was my fashion.
Lots of
it was
colors
us
and
making
feathers.
Fun of women and their you know ridiculous stuff that they did. So it was super fun.
What were some of the first? Do you remember some of the first songs you ever wrote for those for stage?
I wrote one called "Psycho on the Run," which is the precursor to "Homecoming Queen," but it wasn't exactly the same. It was about a girl who was in love with a guy who was insane. And I wrote Anita
That sounds
Bryant.
normal.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah. Anita Bryant. Do you remember Anita Bryant?
Yeah, yeah.
I wrote her doing a song called "Don't Make My Child a Homo."
Oh.
I know.
That makes sense.
Very ahead of its time.
Watch out.
Yeah. It was just I was trying to remember some of the other. Some of them were absurd too, like we were aliens and we were singing about our genitals. They were just ridiculous, right? But it was so fun. So I knew because I'd been going to like classical acting school, right?
There in
Like
San
school.
Francisco?
Yeah, and then I went. This is not what I want to do.
For serious acting?
Serious, total.
What were some of the serious roles
I
they
was
had you
Juliet and Romeo and Juliet, and I was even though I got laughs and they told me that's not what you're supposed to
play?
do.
I would pay money to go see you be Juliet. Were you chewing gum in the?
No, but I was. You know what was weird is I was doing it too intensely, which you know.
Do you remember any of the lines from Romeo and Juliet? And could you perform a little bit?
Romeo, Romeo. It was probably like Romeo, Romeo. Wherefore out there? It was too much, right? So then it became funny. Like
Just picture you valley girling it.
yeah, I was kind of, and then but I mean, I finally figured out what they wanted, and we did things like the Cherry Orchard and Ibsen. I was in Peer Gynt. Do you know Peer Gynt?
I don't.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. And then
Roxy
sud-
seems to think
I
it's
know.
an edge of your seat piece.
And Othello, I was a handmaiden. And
Oh,
then,
you weren't Othello?
No, I wasn't Othello. And I wasn't Desdemona. But and
Oh
then
my God, okay.
yeah, I know.
Good times. Who cast these things?
I know. And then as soon as I was performing before I graduated, and I was getting laughs and you know doing original comedy, and I went, "This is the thing to do. This
Yeah.
is fun, right? This is not like boring." Because I thought they were boring too. I thought the shows they were having us be in were boring.
Yeah.
Right? Their plays can be really hard.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
A lot to memorize, a lot of stuff to do. So when did your singer songwriting ability get to the level that you started being played on Dr. Demento?
Oh,
Where did
that
you go from,
That was when I came back to LA from San Francisco, and I was doing stand up, like just stand up,
okay.
because my writing partner didn't want to do the act anymore.
Do you remember the first time you ever did stand up? What stage you were on, where that was?
I think it was the Improv.
Okay.
But I also know I was getting so frustrated because we'd had all this kind of magical stuff happen in San Francisco, and down here, like I could make references that people didn't get.
Yeah.
And it was a stupider crowd. In LA it was. And then I went, this is not fun. It's like, and then I just thought, I got to put music back in my act because that's what we did in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So I got the idea for these songs. I wrote them with Charlie. The Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun, and because I'm a blonde. And then I started performing them. And that was crazy. Like the
How did
first
you-
time
yeah.
I did Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun was at a bar mitzvah that Bud Friedman paid me to perform at. And I'm like, I was just so excited about my new song, and they were looking at me like, what? So like, what are you talking about? So that was the first time I did it.
How did you perform it? What did you play? Was there a backing track? Or
Yeah,
how did,
yeah,
you
I had a
backing
karaoke track, yeah. But then I also went to some gay clubs around here, and they loved it. They were amazing, right? Because they got it. And so then I just kept going with that. And then what happened was Dr. Demento had me on, and then I got a deal with Rhino Records. And then other radio stations would make my song into a hit at that radio station. They'd share it with another radio station. So it was like this thing that grew, right? And it was the thing that made me get actual attention as an actress.
It's the first time I heard you when I was a child. When I was but a child, I was listening to Dr. Demento with my family, and I heard all these men on Dr. Demento, and the first time I ever heard a woman,
Oh, really?
it was you.
Oh, wow.
And it was on, the Funny Five, and they made a
Yeah.
really big deal of it, and it was Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was incredible, yeah. We're going to play it for you right now.
In my high school, everyone was there. It was totally cool. I was real excited. I almost wet my jeans. Because my best friend Debbie was homecoming queen. She looked so pretty in pink chiffon. Riding the float with her tiara on. Holding this humongous bouquet in her hand. She looks great at a Disneyland. You know, like a Cinderella ride? I mean, definitely an e-ticket. Crowd was cheering. Everyone was stoked. I mean, it was like the whole school was totally coked or something. The band was playing Evergreen. And all of a sudden, somebody screamed, "Look out! The homecoming queen's got a gun!" Everybody run. The homecoming queen's got a gun. Everybody run. The homecoming queen has got a gun. Debbie's smiling and waving her gun, picking off cheerleaders one by one. Oh, Buffy's pom-pom just flew to bits. Oh no, Mitzi's head just did the splits. God, my best friend's on a shooting spree. Stop it, Debbie, you're embarrassing me. How could you do what you just did? Are you having a really bad period? Everybody run. The homecoming queen's got a gun. Everybody run. The homecoming queen has got a gun. Stop Debbie, you're making a mess. Out of birds, I know your dress. An hour later, the cops arrived. By then, the entire glee club had died. No big loss. You wouldn't believe what they brought to stop her. Tear gas, machine guns, even a chopper. Debbie didn't listen to what the cops said. She aimed and fired, and now the math teacher's dead. Oh, it's really sad, but kind of a relief. I mean, we had this big test coming up next week. Everybody run. The homecoming queen's got a gun. Everybody run. The homecoming queen has got a gun. She's wasting half of the price. The cops fired a warning shot that blew her off the float. I tried to scream duck, but it stuck in my throat. She hit the ground and did a flip. It was real acrobatic, but I was crying so hard I couldn't work my Instamatic. I ran down to Debbie. I had to find out what made her do it. Why'd she freak out? I said the bullet had got her right in the ear. I knew then the end was near. So I ran down and I said in her good ear, "Debbie, why'd you do it?" She raised her head, smiled, and said, "I did it for Johnny." Johnny? Well, like who's Johnny? Answer me, Debbie, who's Johnny? Does anybody here know Johnny? Are you Johnny?
There was one guy named Johnny, but he was a total geek. He always had food in his braces. Answer me, Debbie, who's Johnny? Oh God, this is like that movie Citizen Kane, you know, where you later find out Rosebud was a slut, but we'll never know who Johnny was because, like, she's dead. Everybody run. The homecoming queen's got a gun. Everybody run. The homecoming queen has got a. Everybody run. Everybody run. The homecoming queen has got a gun.
Is that my Wikipedia page?
Yeah, I was looking up I was trying to see if it had how many times the Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun was on the Dr. Demento Funny 5.
Oh, I don't even
I was
know.
trying to look that up because I was like, I remember it being on there all the time. That was Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun by Julie Brown. If you're just joining us, this is Songs in the Key of Funny. Our guest this week is Julie Brown, and we are live on the Facebook video live from Book Flappers Comedy Club. Anyway, yeah, that was my first introduction to you. I can still remember my dad giggling.
Really?
Just,
Your
yeah.
dad?
My dad.
He was a minister.
My dad is a minister,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
the one thing that I think like separated us from the churchiness of
Uh-huh.
having a minister for a father was it's like his guilty pleasure,
That's
his comedy.
so awesome. That's great, though, but that's
Yeah.
probably why you're funny, right?
Yeah,
Because he had that.
we needed an outlet, and
Yeah.
so when we discovered Dr. Demento, that it was something the whole family could listen to, and we did.
Yeah, yeah. And Dr. Demento, I think, was essentially clean, too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I
That's
mean,
the
there were
thing. I mean,
innuendos
yeah, there
like
were
Wet
innuendos.
Dream and Polka Dot Undies, but it was
Yeah,
also
but he didn't, like, go full on nasty.
no, he never did.
So
never
I
did.
think, I mean, like I was telling you when I met him, he was so incredibly sweet and shy and nice. I mean, I would have thought he would be crazier, right?
Because his persona, Dr.
Yeah.
Demento, but
He's not.
I guess it makes sense because he's the ultimate comedy fan.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
That's- you can see that's what he is. He's this complete comedy fan, really nice guy, assembling all these things he clearly really likes, right?
And he listened. Yeah, he listened. He put them together. God, his shows were so good.
I know.
Yeah, and he still has, I think, a show online. You can
Really?
go back, and I still go back through his databases when I'm looking for a classic song of the week to
That's
see.
awesome.
Yeah. So at that time, there's just not a lot of women in the music comedy game. You were
No.
compared. You were called the female Weird Al,
I know. I know.
which bugs. It bugs a
kinda
little
bugs
bit.
me,
Because
yeah.
you didn't do parodies more than anything. I guess you
No.
would do sound-alikes a little bit, but
Yeah,
you
I
were
did.
all original.
I know it does bug me, and it's weird because you go. I mean, I've also had him. I had him on. I think he was my first guest on my MTV show.
Yeah,
And he's very sweet too. Really nice guy.
I've
But I
heard
was-
nothing but good things
Yeah,
about him.
he's just
like,
so nice.
yeah,
But
I think he's a
was
church guy too.
Like, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But the thing is, even at the time when people said that, I thought, I guess I could do that, but I didn't want to. It wasn't the thing in me that I wanted to do. Was do,
Right.
parody songs. I did some, but in general, I was really all about they were about stories and characters. So if I just couldn't just do that. Like even the satire songs I wrote as Medusa, they're as Medusa. Like I did the song
Right, it's like a
Vague.
sound-alike.
Yeah,
but- and you
Vague.
did a very good Madonna-esque persona,
Thank
which
you.
is so fun to listen to and watch. Yeah.
Thank you. See, that was really fun to me, and because I'm making fun of her whole thing and her whole world, not just the random Madonna song. But I don't think Weird Al really is an actor, So
Right.
for me, it was always that approach. So it's so funny because I hear Weird Al is traveling, touring. Kids love him, and I sometimes think maybe I should have done that, but I
did you.
I did me. I
You
couldn't
were you.
do him, but he's really great.
I wondered this. So you went from a stand-up comic on stage, acting at in theater and getting your training. When did you decide to do all of these things yourself? Because you didn't. Some women in this or anybody in this industry is like, oh, I'm going to get cast as this, or I'm gonna. You wrote parts for yourself. You created your own. When did
Right.
you decide you could do that?
Well,
what gives you the right to
it-
do that,
I don't
Julie
know.
Brown?
It was gradual because I was auditioning for things, all the time and getting parts. But I guess it dawned on me that nobody was going to really see in me what I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you do a part and you go, all right, that was all right. But you never, it wasn't my point of view ever. And
Right.
it wasn't going to be. It wasn't going to be my point of view. So I think it was, you know, I feel as equally like a writer as I do a performer. And I think I wanted to express all these ideas. So I just started writing parts for myself. But the miracle is that they actually got made. That's the miracle.
It's insane how
Yeah.
much you got away with.
I
How much you
know.
got to do.
I know, it's completely crazy. Like when I did my MTV show, they
You were just a guest VJ, is that
I
correct?
was first a guest VJ in New York, and I made fun of the videos. So nobody had done that, and I thought they're either gonna just kick me off the air or they'll like it, like one or the
Right.
other. But I can't act serious about these things. So they went, no, we like it. We'd like you to do your own show. And then I was in LA, and I right then they wanted me to come to New York and do it, but I developed an intense fear of flying, and I was like, I can't go out there. I can't go out there. They go, all right, we'll send a producer to you. Yeah, that really happened.
You're nobody.
Yeah.
And you said, I won't fly. And
I
they're like,
won't fly.
we'll come
out
to you,
there.
baby.
And I know, but I mean, I was willing to risk that they were going to blow it off. Because I was. Have you ever had any kind of anxiety like that?
I mean, well,
The whole show stops. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. You put a carrot in front of me. Now I'll eat it.
Okay.
I don't know that I have. I guess I haven't.
I've had lots of it. So anyway, I was like, I'm not.
You
I
fly
don't,
now, or
yeah,
you're
I
cool
got
now?
I got over it. I worked on it. I got
Get
over
some
it.
hypnosis, some
Yes,
drugs, massage.
yes.
What'd you do?
I talked to a pilot. That was one of the best things I did.
Oh,
Isn't that good? And he told me, he just sort of explained to me why the plane isn't going to crash. And it was sort of having the point of view of a pilot.
I have a friend. I have a stand-up comedian friend that she she cries on planes, and she's so good, and she would do more late night. They keep approaching her. She has trouble flying across the country. She's fantastic, and I don't want to say her name
Yeah.
because I love her so much, and
Yeah.
because I kind of want to make fun of her too. Anyway, she'll get on a plane when she does fly, and grab the person next to her's hand, even if
Yeah,
they're
even if
straight,
she doesn't know
and
them,
she'll
right?
just like cry with them
Aw.
until they land. And I'm like, why? And she's like, I don't even do her accent because
Yeah.
it's a dead giveaway
Yeah.
for my friends. Anyway, I'm gonna tell her that to maybe
Tell her
talk to a
to
pilot.
because he went through it, and you like looked in his eyes and go, he's so freaking confident. He goes, that plane's gonna land because I don't want to die. I'm landing that plane. And you go, this is how they think. And then when you also really look at the statistics for plane crashes, they're ridiculous. Like of the amount of planes that take off every day, they don't crash, right?
Right?
So I kind of just reasoned my way through it.
Logic.
Anyway, I came out. I was out here.
They sent a producer to you.
To me, which is pretty incredible. And we started doing my show in some little warehouse in the valley, but there was no executives. There was me and Charlie, my writing partner, and the producer who was our same age from New York, and nobody else. And MTV didn't ask to see the scripts. They didn't ask for anything. They said, all we ask is that you show 3 videos per show. That was it.
This was back when MTV was really good, by
I
the
know,
way.
it was so
This was when it was
fun.
so good,
I
so
know.
creative, so silly. Like your show was just
It was
whack-tastic.
so whack.
Crazy.
So weird. But I think partly because it really was not a watered down point of view. It was just me and Charlie. That was
Yeah.
there's nobody else giving us input. So that was, I think everything's better when it's a more singular point of view. So
Because you get to realize your vision. You know, this is what I wanted it to be.
yeah. Like, even the Medusa thing, they didn't give me any notes. I just got to do a Showtime special, and I said, "This is satire of Madonna and Dare to Be Truthful." And they went, "Okay, good, go
Make it.
make it." Now that just doesn't happen.
No.
For people that haven't sold any pilots or anything, or scripts, there's so much involvement now, right?
Yep.
Like insane. So I knew even then I was kind of lucky. I went, "This is like weird."
Did you have the presence of? Is that what carried you on to making Earth Girls Are Easy?
Yes, Earth
Just
Girls.
going now that this is the time to do
Well,
this.
it
So
was
I'm
all
gonna do it.
happening at the same time. Earth Girls, I had sold even before the MTV show. So we spent 2 years writing it, and I was supposed to star in it. And so I just had this insane, probably because of the age I was, I had this insane belief that Earth Girls was going to get made. It's the first movie I ever sold, ever even pitched, and they bought it. And I just like, it's going to get made. It was crazy. Like when I think of it now, I go, what was I thinking? But I had this belief it was going to get made. and that I was gonna. But then I went through a lot because they told me I can't star in it. I had to rewrite the second lead. But it got made, so that's the amazing part.
And you starred in it.
And I did. Well, I coached. Yeah, I started.
Yeah.
I started it.
Yeah.
God damn it. Yeah. Thank you. And right now I'm turning into a musical, like a stage musical.
I love it.
I know,
Because you
right?
also made Homecoming Queen's Got a Musical.
Yeah, I did that in last year, and I did it about first time about 3 years ago. And I just had to cancel my San Francisco one because I was so sick and I couldn't start rehearsals. But
Infection.
it's a bummer, that stupid cold. But all those things make sense to me because they're a story where the songs come in based on characters, and that's more how I think than just a song or a joke by itself. I wish I thought that way. I'd have more material. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna write a song about this.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know what I would. I love your career and I love how you've done. I mean, I love how it evolved exactly how it did because your story just doesn't make sense in modern day
No.
L.A. or New York.
That
It's
doesn't
just
make sense at
no.
all. Like, and who
It's
would
not how
think
it
if
happens.
You're trying to be an actress that you go, I know, I'll put out a record. Like, that doesn't even make sense, right?
Right.
But I thought, this will be fun, and I had a belief in a lot of this stuff. That helped.
Yeah, what was in the first record? Your first, so you had Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun was on one side, and on the other side, the flip side was.
Big and Stupid.
Okay, where did that song come from?
Charlie and I wrote it. I just thought it was a funny point of view about men. I kind of do like guys like that. Not so stupid anymore, though. But
It's your type.
yeah, that's
Do
my
we have
type
that
of-
one in here? Julie Brown, I like a big and stupid.
When I need something to help me unwind, I find a 6-foot baby with a one-track mind. Smart guys are nowhere, they make demands. Give me a moron, the talented hands. I go bar hopping and they say let's go.
That's Julie Brown. I like 'em big and stupid. If you're just joining us, this is Songs in the Key of Funny with Kristen Key and this week's guest, Julie Brown. Yay! And that's your type, big and
Yeah.
Big
Well,
and
I mean,
stupid.
I've altered it as the years go by. Stupid is not that much fun anymore.
but still big.
Yeah.
Everybody has to have a type. Well, it's time to play some games on this here
Okay,
show.
yay.
Yeah, you've made it through the questions and answers. So let's play some silly games. This game is called 5 Random Questions. Here's how this game works. I've got 5 random questions. They were written in under 5 minutes. Question
Awesome.
A, question B, question C, question D, and question E, all in a different key.
Oh,
Starting in
no.
A, and you have to answer in a song that kind of fits the tune that I'm playing. So I'll ask the question. Okay, here we go. This is the key of A. What's the worst? What's the worst? What's the worst? What's the worst? What's the worst outfit you've ever been photographed in?
When I was 10, I wore an outfit where I was trying to look like John Lennon. Very embarrassing now.
Oh, that's the worst outfit she's ever been photographed in. Let's go to B. You want to eat something with sugar in it right now. What do you do? What do you do?
I go to my car, get a Nutri-Grain bar that I keep there for emergencies.
That's what she does. That's what she does. We're gonna go to C now. Change it up a little bit. This one's kind of weird. Okay. Meteor is on a collision path with Earth. It's likely everybody's gonna die. But lucky for you, you have a spaceship and room for a handful of people. So who are you gonna take with you and where are you gonna go? If you want, I'll repeat the question a little bit simpler. Here we go.
Please
It goes like
repeat
this.
it.
So a meteor's heading for Earth, everybody's gonna die, boo-hoo-hoo. But lucky for you, you got a spaceship, but there's only enough room for a handful of people. So who them handful of people gonna be, and where you gonna take them? La 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 la.
First I would take my son, 'cause I love him.
That's nice. She loves her son.
And then I would take Dave Chappelle, 'cause he's funny.
Got your kid and Dave Chappelle. That's nice. It's a funny spaceship.
Then I would take Lily Tomlin, 'cause she's great. And she's the best.
So you got
And Beyonce.
a spaceship with Julie Brown's son, Dave Chappelle, Lily Tomlin, and Beyonce. Where are you going?
I guess we go to another planet, one that had coffee and bananas.
That's where she'd go. That's where she'd go in her spaceship with just enough room for her kid, Dave Chappelle, Lily Tomlin, Beyonce, and they'd go to a coffee-bearing planet. All right, let's see what happens in the key of D. I know. It's kind of a new game. We're seeing how it works. Okay, this is a fun question. What are your thoughts on public nudity? Like, would you go to a nude beach? Like, are you comfortable with yourself being naked but not others? So I'll ask the question again. What are your thoughts on public nudity?
I'm not comfortable being naked in front of strangers, but I would like to see others naked.
So she's a voyeur.
I like to look.
Likes to look but not be naked herself. And that's what her thoughts are on public nudity, which leaves us with question E. So you have you go back and witness anything but not change it? Or would you say no? Butterfly effect, so you have access to a time machine. What you gonna do? I said, what you gonna do?
Well, F the butterfly effect. I don't really care about that. I'd go back to the November before the last and change the election. That's what I'd do. And I would free Melania.
She'd free Melania. And that was 5 random questions with Julie Brown. I think we have time for one more song for. Oh no, musical Mad Libs! Musical Mad Libs! Can we squeeze in musical Mad Libs? Okay. And then we got time for one more Julie Brown song that I think she's gonna sing on by accident.
By accident.
This has been such a good. Oh, I'm having such a wonderful time. I never want it to end. Every week should be Julie Brown week. Okay, musical Mad Libs. For those of you listening or watching at home, musical Mad Libs is just like Mad Libs, where I wrote a story. And I sent Julie some blanks. So I left some holes in the story. I sent her what parts of speech I thought the blanks might be. And so I'm going to sing this song in kind of a story type way. It's in the key of C. When you answer, try to use the word in kind of a sing-songy. Try to match the song. Okay, this one's titled My Online Dating Profile because you like them big and stupid. My online dating profile. Oh, do you feel that love is in the
Spanx.
looking for my someone who must love
Kittens.
kittens. That's right. My someone is into riding
Nose hairs.
That's right, they love to ride nose hairs. And my someone is cool and hip and kind and nice and is willing to try
Luging.
riding nose hairs and tries luging.
Like the Olympics.
Right, Olympic luging and nose hair riding. Let me tell you a little about myself. I was born in
1985.
Oh, I'm young. Yeah. Grew up on a farm that grew.
Bananas.
All right, so here's a list of my turn-ons. I like.
Toupees.
I do like toupees, yeah. Yeah, they really turn me on. I also get super turned on by.
Licking.
And I like long, romantic.
Whipping.
On the.
Shake weight.
Whip me on my shake weight. Ooh. Every night I come home and pour myself a glass of
Drain cleaner.
It's been a hard day. I curl up with my pet.
Kinkajou.
His name is
Mr. Bones.
Hey, Mr. Bones. Then we veg out together on the
Lawn chair.
turn on the TV and watch shows about.
Waxing.
I know that sounds pretty,
Slippery.
but it can get lonely. So private message me and I'll send you some pictures of my.
Duodenum.
And when you see them, they will make you say.
Eat me.
That was musical Mad Libs with Julie Brown. Oh my
There you
God.
go. I know. I had no idea what that was going to be.
I know, that's the fun of musical Mad Libs. You don't know what's coming. For Julie Brown, last song, what do we have left? Oh, your last song. Oh, I'm gonna miss you. This is
We'll come back.
I know you're gonna have to come back. We're
I
gonna
have
have to do
more
this.
songs, so I can come back.
You don't have to have more songs. We can just play games the whole time.
okay.
I'll write more
Alright.
games for you, and we'll
Okay.
play them. And this last song, have you ever been a blonde?
No, I've just worn blonde wigs out in public to see what that was like, but I've never.
What was it? What did you learn from your
I
experience of a blonde
noticed
wig?
that men do like blondes. They notice you. It's a little bit different.
I go blonde sometimes, and I do not find that to be no. I'm
No,
sorry. Maybe,
don't you?
Maybe it's the haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, I don't know, but I noticed that,
Yeah.
and it is actually a little bit different.
All right.
But I
Let's-
never did it because I didn't want to destroy my hair.
I think wigs are probably better. And you
Yeah,
have pretty
wigs
red
were
hair.
great. Yeah.
So let's see what. Cause I'm a Blonde by Julie Brown.
True. Because I'm blonde, I don't have to think. I talk like a baby and I always wear pink. Never have to worry about getting a man if I keep this blonde and I keep these tan. Cause I'm a blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause I'm a blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah. I see people working, it just makes me giggle. Cause I don't have to work, I just have to jiggle. Cause I'm blonde, B-L-O-N-D. Cause I'm a blonde, don't you wish you were me? I never learned to read and I never learned to cook. Why should I bother when I look like I look? I know lots of people are smarter than me, but I have this philosophy. F 'em! Cause I'm a blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah. I see girls without dates and I feel so sorry for them. Cause whenever I'm around, all the men ignore them. Cause I'm blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause I'm a blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah. They say to make it you need talent and ambition. Well, I got a TV show and this was my audition. What was it? Wait, let me think. Oh yeah, Doc CSI guy. Cause I'm a blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause I'm a blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah. I took an IQ test and I flunked it, of course. Can't spell VW, but I got a Porsche. Cause I'm a blonde, B-L-O-R-D. Cause I'm a blonde, don't you wish you were me? I just want to say that being chosen as this month's Miss August is like a compliment I'll remember for as long as I can. Right now I'm a freshman in my fourth year at UCLA, but my goal is to become a veterinarian because I love children. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Girls think I'm snotty and maybe it's true. With my hairy body, you would be too. Cause I'm a blonde BL, I don't know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause I'm a blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause I'm a blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Julie Brown, cause I'm a Blonde. Oh my God, where can people find you online?
JulieBrown.com.
JulieBrown.com.
And this year they could look for, we are going to do a stage reading of Earth Girls Are Easy in about 3 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, won't that be so fun? Then we'll try to just do it.
I
mount
can't
it
wait.
And do it.
I
yeah.
cannot wait.
So I'm excited. I'm so excited about that.
Find her, follow her, JulieBrown.com, and thank you so much
it's
for
so
being on
fun.
the show.
Thank
It's been
you.
wonderful to have you. I can't wait to have you on again.
Thank you.
And guys, thank you so much for listening and watching Songs in the Key of Funny. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We have a website, and it's Songs in the Key of Funny. You can follow me at the Kristen Key. Usually we have Sean Fisher. He's not here, but thank you so much. Keep tuning in to
Songs in the key of funny. Funny songs and the stories behind them.